Never Know.
Make sure you keep telling yourself you're an observer of your mind instead of you are your mind.
That's what meditation teaches you.
Yeah,
this is what
he fucking hammers it into you. Like he says it maybe 1,000 times. I'm only like a third of the way through, and he says it like 1,000 times.
Yeah.
But in any situation, like, I mean, it's like we are constantly lost in our thoughts. We're overanalyzing. We're thinking about the past. We're thinking about the future, and these are the things that take you out of the now. If you like think of yourself, think of like the movie. What's that movie when like the kid goes to like the crazy family and then like they try to take his mind out? What is that called?
Take his mind out?
No, it's they try to like the rich people, like they try to like change bodies and like take his brain out and put it in another person.
Oh, Get Out?
Get Out, yeah.
Yeah.
It's like that. Like think of that scene when like he's hypnotized and he's kind of floating.
Right.
He's kind of floating. It's like, that's almost how you have to envision it, where like you're separated from your own mind and you're just kind of in the backseat watching it. Mm-hmm. And whenever you find yourself, overanalyze something or thinking about, what she said yesterday or thinking about this thing you have to do 2 weeks from now, you just have to remind yourself that, like I'm not my mind. I'm just an observer of my mind. And this, like that way, when you do that, it doesn't necessarily like, it doesn't really change your emotions in any way.
I've said this before, but I haven't said this since the album came out, and I don't think I've said this yet about the album cover. The reason I decided on that one wholeheartedly was because it's essentially exactly what you're saying, right? I might have said this in a podcast before, but meditation and what you're referencing in regards to the mind, my favorite simile or metaphor is being in a fucking airplane and you're underneath and you're going, like it's raining down here as you're taking off. It's a cloudy day in fucking Boston, right? And you're flying up. And then what happens when you get over those clouds?
Bright blue skies, baby.
You see the sun, it's clear as fucking day. And, that's where, and the highs, think about what I'm trying to say, right? The clouds are those thoughts. And if you're down here and you're looking up and you're like, look at all this fucking shit I have to deal with. You know what I mean? Look how gloomy it is. Look at all these things I have to handle. Look at all this negativity. The art of meditation is essentially rising above that. And a lot of times I've felt that way. Like yesterday, I had one of the best meditations I've had in a long time, but I haven't done it. I've been slacking. And I did it for about a half hour, 45 minutes, and I felt it. You feel like you kind of come above and you're looking down at your thoughts and they're just passerbyers, It's just like it's just a cloud passing by. Like, oh, that's a weird thought. That's a funny thought. Like, I don't get attached to it. I'm not underneath it. I'm not getting rained on by that rain cloud. I'm actually just watching it go by, And that's why I love that album cover so much. And it's kind of my favorite metaphor towards meditation and towards what you were saying is just disconnecting from your thoughts. Think about most sadness and anxiety and depression. People are attached to the thoughts they're having. They think it is them.
They become their thoughts.
Yeah, they think they are them. Like, and they're like, what do you mean it's not me? Like, it's in my head. These are my thoughts. But really, like, we're a computer. Your brain, the closest thing, comparison that what our brain is a fucking computer. Mm-hmm. And we're constantly collecting data. I just walked by and saw this. I just watched this thing on my phone. Anything you've ever seen, any conversation you've ever had, ever even listened to, any podcast, any movie, it's all data being collected by your brain. It's a computer. And a lot of times, it's like sometimes for these people who are anxious and depressed, it feels like there's like 10,000 tabs open, and you can't, all these fragmented thoughts and you feel very cloudy, right? No pun intended, feel very, very cloudy and foggy
but it's directly from not being present, and it's from worrying about things that either have happened or worried about or in fear of things that might happen.
I got another Eckhart quote. It's funny you brought him up today. He says, stress is caused by being here and wanting to be there. Being in the present, but wanting to be in the future, And I love that, being here, but wanting to be there. And I feel like most people...
Physically, we have to be here because we are here.
Right.
Because this is now.
And most people, I for one, I literally just had this thought, I think like yesterday. like, or a few days ago. Like, I literally had that thought and checked myself. It was just like, I was actually having sex. I really was.
Yes, go on.
And I was just like, I literally, in the moment of having sex, I was like, yo, be here. Like, I was like,
What were you thinking about?
There's a lot going on.
What were you thinking about?
It was a busy weekend. There was a lot going on. No, there's other shit
You're like, did we run out of Bud Lights?
No, it was actually like more serious. Like there's things going on in my personal life, you know, somewhere far off in the Mike universe of you know, relationships and things. And I was kind of like, I was a little out of it and a little like somewhere else. And I was just like, snap myself back into the moment. And yeah, it was over the weekend, but it really is a great thing. Like, look, this might sound kind of crazy to you if you don't even, I feel like most of our subscribers, this doesn't sound crazy to, because we've been talking about this kind of stuff for a while, but
yeah.
If it does sound crazy, I'm telling you, this is a great hack for at least starting to chip away at your perspective on it. Just like anytime you feel yourself getting ahead of yourself or behind of where you are and thinking about something that happened last week, just realize that all you have is right now, and the only thing you can control is right now, and it's a great life hack. It really is. It was a huge breakthrough for me because, dude, I spent the Mike Stud era, like, I wish I could do that again. You know, and not to say that we didn't have tons of fun, because we did. I think from the outside looking in, you'd be like, man, you guys couldn't have had more fun, right?
Best job I ever had.
Best job I ever had.
Best job I ever had.
But in my head, right, like, I know I wasn't thinking like that, and I know I was always constantly on tour, like, oh, where are we going next? How are the ticket sales? What are we doing? What do I have to do? I'm gonna put out these songs, then I'm going tour again, and I'm gonna do this and do this. And you constantly look ahead at your career, and you're like, oh, you know, this is very common. I'll be happy when I get that raise. I'll be happy when I get that job I've been working for. I'll be happy when I can buy her that ring. I'll be happy when we can, you know, when we can take care, have enough, be financially stable to have kids. You never know what's gonna happen. Like, something in my life just happened to somebody I know that, I mean, this person has everything and almost lost it all in a split second. And it really wakes you up, you know. It wakes you up very quick to that idea of like, man, this is it right here. Nothing else matters than right now. And it's just a dope way of looking at things and a dope way of checking yourself. Because you can get down those rabbit holes and get very depressed and anxious if you don't have something to center you, you know. All the things we talk about are just little life hacks to try to center yourself back into the moment, really. Yeah. And I think that's a great thing. That's something I'm gonna continue to talk about forever because I know what it did for me, you know? I felt it, and I feel like I lived more than ever before, you know?
And let's cross over on how that's affected your music, because I know it has, and I know that you talk about freestyling and stuff, and that's not really what it is on a deeper level. It really is being 100% present in the moment, and not writing anything down and just letting things flow out of you.
Yes.